Hey everyone, welcome to this night's live stream. I am so excited you all are here. I'm going to give everyone a second to jump on here and just make sure that everything is working properly. I'm still getting familiar with StreamYard. So, okay. I think it's working. I think we're good. I am going to jump right in. This is going to be a shorter live stream. I'm going to try to keep it to about 20 minutes. So, okay. All right. So, young, dumb, and broke, how I went from a bankrupt mindset to an abundant one. Okay, so in this video, you're going to learn exactly what it took for me to go from bankrupt, literally, to bringing abundance in my life in just 1 year. This was something that it took me a long time to kind of figure out to get my abundant mindset under control. It was something I kind of just was, walking around in the dark with a blindfold on, trying to figure out for a decade. So you're also going to learn how now my clients achieve this in just 90 days. So abundance doesn't just pertain to money. It's a realization that there's enough for everyone. So this can affect your career, thinking that mindset of thinking that you can run out of clients. It can affect relationships, thinking you can only have like one friend and that friend can have one friend, etc. And everyday things. So, but warning, this is not a sales video. There is no hidden offer here, but just pure value for you as someone who is looking to finally solve their broke mindset and start living abundantly. So, my name is Ashley Lizzie, and in the last 6 months, I have helped countless women achieve an abundant mindset and in turn an abundant lifestyle without having to go bankrupt before doing so. You're probably familiar with this. Side note before we jump in here, if you want to grab a notebook and a pen, this might be a really great time to do so. That way, if there's anything you guys want to write down, or if you're on your phone, you can also screenshot this. All right, so you're probably familiar with this. You actually want to achieve financial freedom, but you have problems with the clarity on how to actually do it. You actually want to buy the dream house, the family vacations, helping others all the time, but you have problems keeping money in your bank account, in your own bank account for more than a week at times. You actually want to have a healthy relationship with money and have more of it, but you have problems feeling like there is never enough or that you're not worthy of it. So, not long ago, I was having trouble paying bills and also having food in the house, believing that I would ever get out of this broke cycle, actually have more than $10 in my bank account at the end of the week, if not negative, thinking I'd ever be out of debt or need financing options for everything, be able to afford a vacation in the next 5 years, thinking I'd be able to buy all the necessities such as never running out of shampoo and beating myself up for spending $18 on face wash. Yeah, I would beat myself up for $1,800 on face wash, right? Seeing how I could have my husband not go to work every day, thinking I had to wait for a miracle to move us across the country, and going out to the park or staying in because I didn't have enough gas to last me to payday. So there were many times where it was like, well, we can't go here because we have to have gas to get to work in the morning. And that was always a big struggle. So I was a normal mom, but my biggest challenge was using my gifts to bring in money and also be present for my kids. Which led to a bankruptcy. It led to me blowing through 28 grand. It led to bad credit. It led to not being able to provide basic needs for my family. I felt that I was completely inadequate. I was not worthy of having my needs met. I had so much self disappointment filling my body that any money I received was the end of it, and I would never have more. and money was a stressful situation. So not having it was easier. I actually felt better and like, okay, I can handle less of it. Okay. It was literally like it was in a cage. It was like it was this, I kind of put it on this pedestal. It was like, oh, I don't deserve it. I can't have it. It's only for people who are worthy of it. So I constantly thought that there was no other working solution, and I worried I would have to settle for this broke mindset and living barely paycheck to paycheck and in debt forever. And it kept me up at night. There were many times where it was more like paycheck to 5 days before paycheck, and it wasn't a thought of like where's the money going. It was a feeling of there's not enough coming in to cover our basic needs. So when we are stuck in scarcity, we literally cannot see abundance because we have conditioned our mind to look at all the scarcity, also known as our problems in our lives. Okay, so this is how it would look for me with a scarcity mindset. So it would be like this. It would be like money in, and then it would go way down, money out, and then it would go money in, and then money out. And it would always go back to zero or below zero. Okay. And then it would be money in, and like say you get your income tax or something like that, and then it would drop way down and it would be money out because you have to pay off all the bills that you were behind on. There was never any catching up. There was never any, like getting ahead of the game. It was always straight being behind and being in this, like, well, we still got to figure out how we're paying for gas and how, can we afford to go to the zoo? Like things like this. Okay. So it would be money in, money out, money in, money out. And it would just continue with this pattern, and it would just get more painful and more painful. So this is how it looks for me with an abundant mindset, and how using new beliefs about money that create a limitless, abundant lifestyle. So, starting on this and starting to shift my mindset, if and literally take the energy that I was using to fight the scarcity, the problems in my life, and I took that energy and I used it to just change my mind about some things. And I'm not saying that this was super easy, but I just took that energy and put it to better use. And this is what happened. Okay, over time, it became that I was having money go out, and I was still having more money come in than it was going out. Okay, so it wasn't like I wasn't in that up down roller coaster ride. It was money in, some money went out, more money came in, money went out, then more money came in, some money came out, all the way up to me actually making more money even when money was going out, which is a really beautiful thing. And it's something that before this I had never experienced in my life. So it was a complete 180 in my physical reality. So the advantages to this, obviously, they were obvious. I had money in the bank. There was no more fear of loss, no more worrying if money would ever show up. I became a magnet for money. I literally was able to just manifest it like like gangbusters, literally like on the spot. Um, I manifest easily. I tapped into multiple streams of wealth, many that were in front of me the whole time. Again, whenever our brains are wired for scarcity, we literally cannot even see the abundant options, the opportunities, the streams of income, any of that are in front of us, simply because our minds are not in that place to be able to realize what it actually is. And I always say this to all my clients is that, you have to first open up the door in your mind so that when it opens up in real life, you can walk through it. That door might be in front of you the entire time, but if your mind has not arrived first, you're never going to walk through that door. So, putting myself in this abundant mindset, I was literally able I seen endless opportunities in front of me, which was pretty amazing. I've also been, since that, using my gifts to generate income, self-confidence, and self-worthiness. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. If you don't have an abundant mindset, you're never going to recognize it as abundance. Okay. Just like, and I've shared this many times, but whenever I had 28 grand in my bank account, I was still laying awake at night, freaking out, worrying and stressing over money because I thought, That's the end of it. That's all there ever is. I'm never going to have any more. Which in turn, manifested in my physical reality of me literally getting rid of it. Like I didn't even want it in my life subconsciously because I didn't feel like I was worthy of it because I had such a scarcity mindset. So whenever we shift those things, money hangs around a lot more. It doesn't just, we know how to have a good relationship with it so that it wants to stick around. I mean, think about it. If, you have your best friend and you're treating it like shit and you're afraid of it and you don't want it around, she stresses you out all the time. I mean, it's really not going to stay in your life, right? So money is just a relationship that we need to harness and embrace. And of course, physical proof creates more confidence. So once you manifest that first $1 or that first $10 bill, it's like, oh my God, holy shit. What else can I manifest? What else can I manifest? And this is the really beautiful thing about it is because, I call it building that manifestation muscle because people, will look at me and be like, well, I mean, recently I've manifested a car. Okay. And people are like, I can never do that. I can never do that. Well, here's the thing. It started out with me manifesting a cup of coffee. And then it went, okay, can I manifest like $100? How about like 50? How about like 500? How about like 1,000? How about 2,000? And then it just would kept growing and growing and growing. And you build that belief in yourself of, yeah. And like I said, I call it a manifestation muscle because it's just like you're building that muscle of confidence in yourself that, yeah, you can do this. Okay. And it's again, as we do this, we clear out that scarcity mindset that we have. So now, now with my new abundant mindset, I can finally enjoy my birthright of being abundant. And it is everyone's birthright to be abundant without having to worry about how many overdraft fees I would get that month. You guys, I can't tell you how many times I would sit there and I would count the overdraft fees and it would be ridiculous. And I'd be like, I could buy a whole week's worth of food with this. Like, and I would always be constantly calling the bank. Can you reimburse me for this? Like, and that again, using that energy to try to micromanage this shitty situation. And I just took that energy and I put it somewhere else to shift my mind. So, how I was going to buy shampoo and conditioner, that was literally a thing for us. We could buy one or the other. How I was going to go on vacation, which we could barely ever do before. How I was going to make my dreams happen. How I was going to buy my $1 million house one day. How I was going to be able to help those in need. It is my dream. Like that's what success, and abundance means to me really is I want to be able to, if someone's in need, be able to like just help them. Just, be like, here's $5,000. Here you go, help families in need. One of my favorite things to do around the holidays is go to Walmart and pay off a layaway. I usually do it on the last day the layaway is due, which is usually like December 10th, 10th or 11th. Because I feel like those are the people that are struggling the most. And ever since I did that once, it was like this addictive feeling of like, I want to help more people. I want to give that people that feeling of like, miracles happen. I want to be that open, channel for the universe to be able to work through me. So I'm just a vessel to help other people. And that is my biggest thing. And of course, I want to buy my $1 million house one day. I wasn't going to be able to do that with a scarcity mindset. Again, people will look at this stuff and say, that's never going to happen for me. This is impossible, Ashley. The thing is, it's possible for everyone. We just have to think differently. So what would your life look like? If you shifted, if you could shift your mindset, think about your big, scary, hairy dreams, goals and dreams that you want. Maybe it would be taking your family on vacations, spending more quality time, going to, having a beach house, having money in the bank, saving up, helping those in need, traveling, buying that, dream home for you and your family, and just the feeling of freedom and feeling like, wow, I don't have to worry about how many overdraft fees I'm going to get this month. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to put food on the table. I don't have to worry about, you know, how I'm going to buy dog food and our food, how I'm going to wash my hair for the next, 2 weeks until I get paid again. So, I mean, these things that seem like, and to some people maybe laughable because they've never experienced this before. But no matter where you are or what you have experienced, everyone can benefit from that abundant mindset. And the ones that are, are stuck in scarcity and shift, they might feel the biggest shift simply because it feels like it is set right now. It feels like it's so out of reach. But I can promise you that it's not. It's on the other side of your mind. It's on the other side of choosing a different life and committing to it. So when we don't have an abundant mindset, we will not see abundance in our lives. When we have a scarcity mindset, we see scarcity in our lives. The power lies in realizing you have the option to change your reality by changing your mind. It is literally a shift in your decision making. It is a, just deciding differently. An abundant mindset holds these thoughts. There is always enough. You collaborate to stay at the top, no competition. You embrace change over fearing change. You share knowledge freely instead of hoarding it. You're generous with others instead of not helping them. You believe the pie is getting bigger, not shrinking. And you think big and embrace risks instead of avoiding them. Okay, so this is a testimonial from one of my clients, Catherine, and she says, Ashley made me realize a lot, but the most important thing for me was that I am in charge of my life and I get to decide and create whatever I want. This was truly the biggest shift I have experienced in my life. And since working with her, I've been able to fulfill my needs and begin creating my dream life. And this is so true for so many of my clients because, again, it is that shift of being able to understand that you are in control. And, for instance, in this situation, money doesn't control you. And this was another testimonial from another client of mine, Amanda. And she said, I manifested my first dollar amount, $6,000. I had never had any previous manifesting experience. This was the holy shit moment for me. And I continue to dive in and it just keeps getting better. I needed that money to get out of a terrible marriage and be able to start providing a better life for my children. This program, working with Ashley, has been a lifesaver. I've since built up so much confidence and self-esteem that I can be a single mom and create a beautiful life for my family. So this stuff is powerful, guys. This is the grit. This is where the work happens, and that abundant lifestyle that you want is on the other side. So if you'd like to find out how to implement an abundance mindset in your life and achieve all of the things we went over, money in the bank, freedom, wealth, like many of my other clients, send me a private message. And of course, I'm happy to jump on a call and help you, and we can see what we can do and work together. But you know, like I said, this is it. This is what changes everything. This is what changed everything for myself. And many of my clients, I've watched them, you know, when it comes to money, just shift out of that, scarcity mode and much like, where I was in my life of just not being able to pay for anything, not being able to provide the life that I wanted for my family. So yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing what's on the other side, whenever you leave scarcity and you go for abundance. Okay, guys. Well, I kept that at 20 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself. All right, I'm going to close out the live stream. If you have any questions about this, drop it in the comment section or feel free to send me a private message. And again, if you want to find out more on how to implement an abundant mindset in your life, send me a private message. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your night.